Hi, Stacy.
Hey, Tim.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
We're here today with Jeff McSweeney of Southside Mission. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How you been?
Oh,
Things
it's
going
been
okay?
beautiful. Thrilled to have the weather warm up a little bit. Almost put my shorts on this morning. Yeah, we're at like 16 degrees now, right? After last night,
yeah,
though.
yeah. I'll take warm weather anytime. I'm telling you. So tell us about Southside Mission.
Wow. How much time do I have?
We have about 29
About
minutes.
29 minutes. If I could have 3 hours, it'd be great. Well, Southside Mission was founded in 1925 by Helen Hine. She was an immigrant from the Netherlands, had moved into farm country as a young child, moved to Peoria in her teens, had begun work with a Methodist mission down there for a couple of years and wanted more and more responsibility, and they wouldn't give it to her, so she started her own mission. In 1925, she had her first meeting in the living room of one of the clients that she had down there. And since then, 91 years later, we're a $4 million mission, and we have about 50 transformational ministries, and it's all privately funded. There's no government funding of any kind.
Wow.
50 ministries.
50 ministries and programs. The largest one is the New Promise Center Women's Shelter. That's the one we're most known for. And then one of the smallest ones, my little favorites, is we have an orchestra ministry as part of the youth department. And we have a lady from Morton that comes in one day a week during the school year and teaches kids stringed instruments.
That's very
It's
cool.
incredible. So there's a wide range of ministries between there, and we serve a great number of people in Peoria South Side.
Wow.
And so we just finished up with Thanksgiving, and I know you and I kind of touched on this a little bit, but what a cool day of giving back. So you guys deliver food, you deliver Thanksgiving meals to how many homes?
30, well, gosh, great question on homes. Ooh, that was a
Families?
good question.
Okay.
3,300 meals.
Okay.
3,300 meals are served, and if I heard it right, it's about 600 deliveries throughout central Illinois.
Okay.
Our primary service area is the 61605 zip code, but for Thanksgiving meals and Christmas meals, we serve everybody who calls us.
Wow. And that is a lot of volunteers, because you had probably how many volunteers that came down that day?
Well, that day we have about 300 drivers that come in, 300 drivers and their families that come in, because it's definitely a family event for a lot of
Yeah.
people. It starts off on Monday with baking homemade pumpkin pies. We have about 300 volunteers throughout the week that come in and do meal preparation. Cisco, one of our food providers, provides a complimentary refrigerated truck that we put all the meals onto. And then the morning of meals starts about 6:30 in the morning with the first volunteers showing up. We start cutting pumpkin pies, putting the cranberry sauce together, putting all the packages together, getting them in the boxes and getting them out the door. And we get 3,300 meals out the door before 11 o'clock. We turn the gym, and then we serve about 200 people in the gym for a sit-down meal.
Wow.
So we've been averaging for the past few years about 3,500 meals consistently from holiday to holiday.
That is so amazing.
It really is.
That's
It's
gotta-
incredible.
That's a lot of volunteers, and that's just, I mean, the organization of all of that and the impact and
I've been in events all my life, and when I started in March of 2015, everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's amazing, it's amazing." I said, "I've been to a lot of events. Nothing really shakes me." But I tell you, if you're not able to volunteer, and you came down for this past Thanksgiving, if you just stand in the middle of the gym and see the joy and the heartfelt joy of all the volunteers putting all these meals together, you're really touched. You're really touched. And I understand that you made some deliveries this year too,
I
huh?
did.
I'm turning the interview back on
I
you,
did.
but that's okay.
That's why I'm probably going to cry. I'm not going to lie. It still touches me. But to come down there on Thanksgiving morning and see the families that all came together to deliver to other families, I think that was really beautiful. I'm sorry. But one of my best friends actually joined me, and her and I had never done it before. And we picked up the meals, which were amazing. I mean, you guys gave turkey and cranberry sauce, like you said, and green beans, and even dessert. And you gave, thanks, Tim.
Nice. What a gentleman.
Anyway, you gave them. We provide all the stuff that we need. You just walk in, and there's families there, moms, dads, and kids doing this too, which I thought was even cooler. Of all these families coming together, loading up their car, and even if it's a few meals, it's an hour or two out of your morning to make an impact on these other families and to kind of open your eyes of what's right here in your community. But yes, I got to deliver to a couple families, and one lady said she had nothing in her cabinets, nothing, maybe 2 cans of food, and she had no idea what she was going to serve for Thanksgiving. And I know that was our first delivery. And then our second one just so happened to not have been home, and read the instructions. And you don't leave them at the door because we wouldn't want that food to go to waste. But God always has a plan. And so the next house that we went to had the water shut off and had absolutely nothing. So we were able to give both of those sets of meals to that family who had no water and not anything either. And so, she said she was praying for us, and, God works through us, right? No matter where we are in our life, no matter what we're doing, God can use you. Mm-hmm. And so that just really spoke to me and definitely impacted the rest of my day. So I definitely, after doing that, I will spread the word and come back again. And I mean, what you guys do down there is really cool.
We appreciate that.
You guys even had stuff for the kids that were coming down on their Thanksgiving Day. They had balloons and hot chocolate, and it was so professionally run. I was very, very impressed with what you guys have done. So thank you for that.
We appreciate it and appreciate your support, because without the volunteers that we have, and I would estimate close to 1,000 volunteers in the entire process. From meal preparation all that week to the morning, the volunteers prepping the meals, because there's a whole group of volunteers that do that, then the volunteers that deliver the meals. It can't happen without you. We only have 5 staff people on site that day.
Wow.
Yes.
How many staff do you guys have on a regular basis?
Including our 3 mission marts, we have 73 staff people.
Okay.
If you concentrate around the ministry side, we have about 40.
Okay. And so, speaking of food, you guys have a culinary school.
Absolutely. We serve 100,000 meals a year, and that 7,000 of those meals are Thanksgiving and Christmas. The Culinary Arts Training School is offered 3 times a year for up to 10 students. They're 12-week-long programs. And we basically take people that might be sandwich makers and train them to the point where they can be sous chefs at hotels. Chef brings in menu development, recipes, food preparation, baking, cooking, and then they train by providing meals for the Lighthouse Diner Soup Kitchen. So Monday through Friday. So we try to complement all of our ministries to help all the other ministries out whenever we can.
That's even better.
So like the meals for Thanksgiving and Christmas, the Lighthouse Diner serves people that just walk in the door. There's no pre-qualification for that, just like the holiday meals. They come in at noon, hear 15 minutes of the gospel, and then they're provided a meal cooked by the Culinary Arts Training School students. Some of those meals can get really, really good. They're yummy.
Like what? Give us an example.
Yesterday was chili mac, homemade pizza. They've served shrimp scampi before.
Wow.
And people get kind of nervous. They say, what am I giving money for that for? Well, we have a lot of partners in town. Midwest Food Bank is one of our largest food providers, but Kroger up on Lincoln Highway is also a great supporter of the mission, and they're seeing the food that's expiring, and they'll send it down the night before. Chef walks in. What did we get last night? He'll develop the menu in the class around the food that was received, and then we get it right back out as soon as we can.
That's awesome.
Well, I love to hear the backstories. So, how did you get involved?
A very prayerful consideration. It was amazing. I was in job transition, just kind of looking around. I'm a photographer, graphic designer by trade. That's my passion, but I don't have enough work in the area to support myself on that. And just poking around the job boards, and this one popped up, and threw my resume in. Got a call a week later, and interviewed with Crystal, who's one of the greatest bosses I've ever had. And a couple months later, I start. It was incredible. It was God's hand, definitely, because, when you're hunting for a job, you always find like 2 or 3, right? And all of a sudden, nothing for a long time, and all of a sudden, oh, here's 3 at once. And it was just clear in my head that it should be Southside Mission, which has been truly a blessing in my life.
So what's been your favorite part?
Meeting the people that are served. Like what Stacy said, is coming in, and all of a sudden you're meeting people and in their place. And, I grew up in Washington, lived in Eureka for the past 15 years, recently moved to Peoria South Side, which I love. And, you kind of leave an insulated, media filtered idea of what 61605 is. You see media reports, you hear from friends, oh, I wouldn't go down there and it's dangerous. It's not. You go down and you're like, it's everybody just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Just trying to get through the day. And, Stacy's story about this lady, there's so many of those. I could go on for hours about how each ministry has touched individual clients and changed their lives.
You even have the City on the Hill Church right up the street from you guys.
We have tremendous church partnerships.
Yeah.
What I really love about the mission is, I want to go and change somebody's life. I'm just one guy, don't have a lot of resources, but my volunteer hours or my money going here will help expand that, multiply that effect. And Southside Mission has a tremendous reputation over its 91 years, and we work really hard at maintaining that reputation and focusing our services on those in the 61605 zip code.
Yeah.
There's 16,000 people that live down in the 61605 zip code. We run from the Civic Center basically to 474. And it's a 49% poverty rate compared to 17% for the rest of the county. But we have the number of people down there same as Washington or Morton. It's roughly the same size population.
Mm-hmm. So you have a shelter too then, correct?
Correct. That's what we're primarily known for. We take care of women and children.
Okay.
Our partner organizations in town, which we count on tremendously, including the Peoria Rescue Mission, primarily takes care of men. The Salvation Army is families, and then the Dream Center is those that are really in dire housing needs. But we all work together and complement each other's needs and make sure that everybody's taken care of.
That's wonderful. And I know that I've also been down there to serve meals. So what other volunteers on a daily basis are you guys looking for?
We have 100,000 volunteer hours throughout the year. A lot of them, I kind of divide it into two different categories. One is the category that you serve in for Thanksgiving meals. Mm-hmm. You come in and it's project oriented. Mm-hmm. I'm that type of volunteer. I need a wall painted, I need a room painted, something like that. I can volunteer to come in and do that. Mm-hmm. Then there's people that come in regularly. We have tutors. We have Christian Smith that does the children's orchestra that comes in every Thursday. Yeah. So whatever your needs are and whatever your connections are, Patricia Moten is our volunteer coordinator. We have a dedicated volunteer coordinator that you call in and say, what are you looking for? This is my interest. And we'll find a place for you somewhere in the organization where we can utilize your talents.
Wonderful.
So what are some of your biggest challenges?
In this trying economic times with layoffs at Caterpillar and some of the uncertainty, it is definitely the income, the steady income that we need.
Do the stores help you out a lot?
Oh, the stories are very heartstring pulling. We have folks that hear the stories, that learn about what we do and how efficient we are in providing them, and they're very supportive. Mm-hmm. This region is just phenomenal in its charity. Mm-hmm. And in how they support all these organizations. And we try to work together with our partners to make sure that we don't compete, that we don't offer similar services, so that people can give their volunteer hours, their money in the areas that they most think it's going to help this area.
Yeah.
We've done about 75 different shows on the different organizations in Peoria, and it's amazing to me the network that's involved with all the different organizations and the heart that people have here in Peoria. Mm-hmm.
And we have organizations that come and volunteer with us. We have, Neighborhood House is a great partner. We're only located a few blocks apart. Some of their staff comes to our events. We go to their events. Mm-hmm. I had the pleasure of going to Dream Center's Eat. Oh, I don't remember the title. But it was last Saturday morning, and we photographed homeless people. Folks that haven't had their portraits made in years. And so I was one of 9 photographers in the gym taking pictures of people for their holiday portraits.
That is awesome.
It was, and it's encouraged. We're not just Southside Mission doing Southside Mission work. We're Southside Mission serving those most in need throughout the Central Illinois area. And if we can help and provide our talents in other organizations, then do so.
Absolutely.
I love that you're using the gift, the gift of photography. It's a special art. I know it personally.
Yes.
And so it's a gift, and you're able to use your own personal gifts in that way. That's pretty cool.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So what are other you talked about the 50. What are some of the other ministries there?
We have 4 umbrella ministries, and there's a whole bunch of littler ones underneath that. But our 4 primary ministries: New Promise Center Women's Shelter, Community Outreach, Youth, and Pastoral Care. The IRS considers us a church, and we do hold church services there, but we don't consider ourselves a church with elders and a support structure that all these wonderful churches in our community have. So mostly the chapel services we offer are for the ladies in the New Promise Center, and then we encourage people to find their own church home and that support structure that really serves their needs. So the community outreach, Hope Builders is one of my other. I have so many favorites. You know, you come into Thanksgiving meals and you say, "What's great?" "Oh, I love Thanksgiving meals." But I love construction. When I'm not doing photography, you know, you work with ones and zeros all day long, and you just sit there and say, "I have to build something. I have to construct something."
Yeah.
And our Hope Builders program has been around since 2004. It was created by the Metro Peoria Baptist Association. 14 guys had an extra week of vacation. They said, "We're going to come together and we're going to help people with their porches, handicap ramps, their bathrooms." And you can imagine what you experienced in the delivery of one meal. There's a lot of homes down there that have been passed on to generation to generation. They're owned free and clear, but the folks that live there do not have an extensive income. So when you have a roof that hasn't been replaced in 30 years and it's leaking, and you're like, "I don't have the economic means to replace that roof." And so Hope Builders takes applications off and on throughout the year. We have a committee of volunteers that interviews the people. We really focus on veterans, the elderly, and owner-occupied homes. That is the crucial part, is owner-occupied homes. And then we gather funds from places like the CFCI. Community Foundation of Central Illinois. I do know these acronyms. I keep getting confused. Community Foundation of Central Illinois, LISC, and PCCO. They have funds that they award to us throughout the year, and then we take those funds and do 100% direct service to the clients most in need.
That's awesome.
And what they find, what the donors really like about that program, is that we absorb all the administrative costs. So when LISC gives $50,000 this year, when the Community Foundation of Central Illinois that gives us $12,500, all $12,500 goes directly to the clients. There's no administrative fees pulled out.
Wonderful.
So that's community outreach. We have Adopt-A-Block, and that's really a church-based group. They come down twice a month, walk the neighborhood, and they don't do things as extensive as Hope Builders, but they'll rake leaves. How you doing in your house? Here are some cookies. Play with the kids a little bit, just kind of work around that way. And there's a number of community outreach programs that way. Our youth ministry serves about 400 kids a year. We have a before school program. We're in 5 public schools. We go to a public school in our service area one day a week, every day of the week throughout the school year. And we have an after school program, Camp Kearney, and a summer day camp, amongst others. And then there's just a whole bunch of things underneath that as well.
Yeah.
And our pastoral care, being faith-based, God-loving organization, we really think that faith is an important part of people's lives, and we support it. It's not a club. We don't beat people into becoming Christians. We don't deny service to anybody. There's no requirement, and there's no requirement that once you receive services that you do or don't do certain things. We just live by example, like you delivering meals is just an act of God's love, and that inspires people to engage in a faith journey. And that's what we're supporting.
It's like a mega mall of ministry.
It really
Mall of
is.
ministry.
There's a number of churches. There's not one favored over any other. We have ministers from all denominations coming in, preaching, ministering, talking to everybody. And we just gather any volunteers that we can from churches and individuals and just say, "Come in, talk about your faith journey," because you think this guy might really speak to you, but this next minister will speak to you. And we just make sure that everybody's exposed to the opportunities that a faith-focused life can offer.
Yeah, it's amazing to me because, I've heard of Build-A-Block and all of your different ministries, but never put them all in together as one big ministry. That's pretty amazing.
It's really hard even for management to look around and say that they know what's going on. Because when you I know, and I go, "Did you know this? And did you know that?" And because I talk to managers in my role as marketing development, is I talk to managers a lot saying, "What are you doing now? Because I need to know the story so I can share it in events like this."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "You're doing that? you're doing that. That's amazing. And the outreach and the stories and the changes that we've made in people's lives is inspiring. When you get down a little bit and you think, what's our effectiveness? And then you hear a story about a lady who moved from Chicago and had 10 kids and had a really rough life and just needed to rest. So the New Promise Center just gave her that time, a secure place to sleep, some food. We got to clean up some medical issues, got to clean up some legal issues, and then, okay, you're reset. Now you can go back out and start pursuing life again.
I know we just had 2 kids. My wife and I had 2 kids and moved here, and there was nobody. And, we didn't know really hardly anybody, and nobody to take the kids. And sometimes it's nice just to have that break. I can't imagine having 10 kids and being on your own. That to me is amazing.
It's when a lot of the folks come into the New Promise Center, they haven't had a life where parents have been engaged and they brought them up to be what is responsible, what do you have to do in your life to get a job, and that type of thing. There's legal issues, there's bankruptcies, there's some medical issues that come up, and they just don't have the resources in their personal life to help to fix those things. And you come into the mission, and I would say it's fairly structured. There's curfews, that type of thing. There's structure. You have to attend classes, and you go, oh, I can't get a job because I had declared bankruptcy. I got all these people chasing me. And we have pro bono attorneys that come in and help them get out from underneath that. So you can just clear that mess out that we call people. I got an accountant. I have an attorney friend. What do I do? Oh, I'll send a letter for you, and it's done. But a lot of these folks don't have those resources and know how to fix some of the problems they've had in their lives, and that comes through the mission. We have caseworkers and that can address each individual's needs and say, I'll find that resource and we'll make it happen. Then we work with our partners in the community to clear up those messes.
So we have Christmas coming up. So what are you guys doing for the holidays?
Christmas this year lands on a Sunday.
That's right.
Oh, big challenges for the mission. And I am very appreciative of leadership to moving the Christmas meal delivery to Christmas Eve.
Okay.
That was, and a lot of prayers went into that one. He's like, oh, it's Christmas, and then it's Sunday, and then you're like, oh, how are we even going to get the volunteers here? Mm-hmm. And that was one of the big concerns, and we don't want to interrupt people's church life either. And our meal deliveries are from 8 to 10:30. Okay. Well, that's church. It's not like, what are you going to do, come down and deliver and not go to church? That's not really good. Mm-hmm. It's not really helpful. So we moved it to Saturday. We still have our same pattern here in a couple of days on Monday. We have our pie bakers coming in to make the 400 pies. And so that keeps going throughout the week. Friday is kind of scheduled to be our catch-up day, that if anything doesn't get done, we're just making it all happen on Friday. Saturday morning, folks come in about 7:30 and we start rolling.
So you do the same delivery process as you
Same
do for
delivery
Thanksgiving?
process. So when you're asking earlier about how people sign up for the meals, they just call the mission. Mm-hmm. And the folks that take those reservations say, do you want Thanksgiving and Christmas, or just Thanksgiving? Okay. So a lot of people that call in are reserving for both. And as you witnessed with the need that they had for Thanksgiving, they definitely have the need for Christmas as well.
Right.
So that's how we collect the names. And then routing is a joy. We are looking for a volunteer organization to help us with routing next year. We see the abilities of a FedEx or a UPS and how they take, here's 100 packages. How do you take them through town?
Sure.
And so you call and you live on this address. I call and I live over here, and you call, and you can imagine, 600 deliveries, about 3,300 meals, and you're saying, oh, how do you get that way? So I've heard rumors of scheduling software that you can load an Excel spreadsheet and it'll do the diagrams for you.
Yeah, routing.
Routing. Uh-huh. Oh boy, was your route pretty good?
Oh, mine was excellent.
Okay, so you were down in the South Side doing your thing.
I stayed right on the South Side Mission, around the South Side Mission, and actually 3 of the 4 houses were on the same street.
Nice.
So we were really blessed. God had a plan for us that morning.
It's amazing how that happens. Mm-hmm. God's plan, when you sit there and go, this is my first time, who am I going to meet? I'm really nervous.
I have no idea what to do.
I have no idea what to do.
What to expect.
And you were saying you had 4 deliveries. And people go, well, I live in Washington. I'm going to drive down there and take 15 minutes for a delivery. How long did your deliveries take?
Well, each one varies because you don't know who's going to answer the door and if they want to talk or not, or if they're going to be home. And so Yeah, and sometimes you spend more time at the others. So, I mean, you don't know how long it's going to take.
Correct. And that's when
So-
people call. And so when you first get there, and you're 4, I'm going to be done in 15 minutes. I'm just going to drop. Oh no, there are people that want conversations, and people look around and say, what do people need most? Just human contact. Somebody to sit down and have a conversation. And you go into their home and start praying, and stories come out, and they tell you that you're the first person that's been in their house in weeks, and
You just don't know.
you don't know. It could take 2 or 3 hours to deliver 4 packages of meals.
Or it could take a short period of time. You
Correct.
just don't know.
You don't know.
So, do you guys still need volunteers for?
We are in desperate need of drivers. Our volunteers are really good. This was a danger. Last year I can make a joke. So a few years ago, there was it was before my time, and I love her, so she can, if she sees this, she can yell at me. But we got on the media and said, we need turkeys. Oh my, that was really bad, because turkeys were about $20, and people were going to Kroger and just picking up all the turkeys. And we got a call saying, hey, there's no turkeys left up here. And it's like how the meals are set up and how we work. We've got the food. We don't need food donations this time of year, because it's very, very structured how we provide it. So now I've lost the question. Drivers.
You were
How
telling
did I
a
ever get
story
off to
about
food? I don't know.
drivers.
I'm just thinking of what we need and what we don't need. What we don't need is food. What we don't need are volunteers to prep the meals. We're set with that. What we do need is drivers.
Okay. And that's for Saturday morning from, you said 8 to 10:30?
8 to 10:30.
Okay.
Yes, and you contact Patricia Moten, Patricia M at southsidemission.org, or 309-676-4604. That number again, 676-4604. And Patricia will be happy to sign you up.
And there's no car. That's the other thing. I have a little 2-door car. And I was like, how is this going to work? I don't even know. But, we made it work, and you had volunteers that came out and delivered the food into my car. So grab your friends, grab your family, and hop in the car and call down and give them the heads up that you're coming. And it was excellent. I was very impressed with what you guys got done.
It's an amazing experience. People that do it, like you did the first year, and all of a sudden, like, oh, you can't stop me from doing it
That's
in the
right.
future. If I'm available from doing it, well, we've got family. I said, one of the things we've got is we don't need volunteers for meal prep, because we have families that repeat year after year after year. The Allen family is one of my favorites, because they do pies. And they always have at least 15, and at Christmas they have 20 based on who's in town. And they come in and they cut the pies. They know the pies. And so that's where the need is. Drivers, yes, but there's so many families and organizations that come in and just do their one area of meal prep that we don't need the volunteers in that area very often.
Get
So
you some drivers.
We have 30 seconds left. Is there anything else that we need to cover within those 30 seconds?
I just really appreciate all the prayers, volunteer hours, and financial support that Peoria's provided Southside Mission over the years. And I pray for continued support of the mission and everything that it does.
Amazing. We're here with Jeff McSweeney of Southside Mission. Thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Jeff.
folks. Thank you.
Thank you.